Hi, my name is Lisa Card. I'm an educator and a life coach. Let's prepare for a great school year. Are you ready? Are you prepared to begin the school year? Ready, set, go. Just like a cheerleader, right? Are you ready to begin? Well, we are going to talk about awareness, safety tips, options, planning, daily routines, focus, mindset, and getting involved. So, awareness and current events, world news. Many of us watch the news even if we did not elect to watch the news, right? So whether it was on social media or whether your friends and your family, everyone's talking about it, right? Everybody's talking about Black Lives Matter. And many of you guys have protested and you've gotten involved because your families took you to get involved, right? There were multiple protests. And why did all this stuff happen? Because of police brutality, because of the negative impact that it has had for so many years. And so now's the time young folks were speaking up and still are speaking up to this day. And then, even dealing with that, you have COVID-19. COVID-19 came in and just negatively impacted all of us. We have all, some form or fashion, have been impacted by COVID-19. And it is painful to think about when you know family and friends and loved ones who have succumbed to it. So I want to take a moment to offer my condolences for any of you who have lost someone during this time. For any of you who have experienced this virus, but I'm glad that you have healed. If you're one of the ones who had it, I'm grateful that you healed from it. And if you have family members who have healed from it, I am grateful that they have healed from it. And I hope that the healing continues. And I'm hoping that we can get back to some normalcy and continue to prepare for a great year. So my prayers are with you, and we are going to get through this. So we want to talk about safety tips. The CDC, which is the Center for Disease Control, offers different guidelines for us to follow. They are constantly updating their website and making new discoveries about this virus and how we should handle it. And I know one of the biggest things they talk about is basically washing your hands and not putting your hands in your face. Even as an adult, I did not realize how much I touched my face until all this came about. So yes, we definitely have to be careful about touching our face and not do it. Wear a mask when you are going to be in areas where there is possibly a large group of people. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer. And I'm going to say this, that this is stuff that we should be doing, that we should have been doing all along, especially once you leave your house or once you just touch different things, even around the house. When you touch things, I'm going to say, I got my glasses. I'm touching my glasses. Go wash your hands. Take it serious. Wash your hands all the time. Wash your hands. Social distance of at least 6 feet. I know that number changes depending on where you're getting your information from and who you're talking to. Cover your mouth when you're sneezing. Cover your mouth, and also sneeze into your arm. Disinfect surfaces before and after you use them. You want to disinfect them, of course, before you use, because you don't know, what has infected that area or what exposure it has had before you got there. And then also we want to be neighborly and sisterly or brotherly and clean a area before, once we're done with it. Back to school options. So there were some districts, there were some states or cities who schools decided to just go ahead and do virtual learning until they figured out what the next steps were. But there were also districts and or cities who decided to do face-to-face. But you have some cities or districts or both who decided to do surveys and to survey the parents and the teaching staff and the members of the district whether or not they want to participate in face-to-face learning. Face-to-face learning is, of course, you're socially distant, but you are in person with your teacher, and there are some other classmates there, wearing PPE, wearing your facial mask. And then you have virtual learning where you are behind a screen, kind of like what we are now, except for with the virtual learning, it's interactive, where you are talking to your classmates or your teachers, and you can answer questions in that nature. Hybrid learning is a mixture of face-to-face and virtual learning. And then you have community-based learning. So that was interesting. I just learned about this the other day. So the community-based learning is where if I chose virtual learning and I don't have a safe or a quiet space in my home, then I'm going to do the community-based learning. And because what happens is that the school creates a safe space where this student may be in there with maybe one or two other students, of course, socially distanced, and there's a supervisor to monitor the space, but they're still interacting with their teachers virtually. So I guess what the difference is between the community-based learning and the face-to-face learning is that there's more bodies in the face-to-face learning. The community-based learning is a separate space, like they would not interact with the face-to-face learning, from what I was told. Okay, so are you prepared to learn? What will you need for the school year? Are you prepared? Like, are you asking yourself, I really want to know, like, are you asking yourself, are you prepared? Do you have the supplies that you need? Well, guess what? Where are we at? We're here with the NCADD, and shout out to NCADD for putting on this awesome event. They are giving out school supplies. So if you're watching this video, there's no excuse, because guess what? NCADD has supplies for you. Appropriate technology. Most schools, or there were some schools, I'm sorry, that were giving out free laptops or free tablet computers with the keyboards. They were offering free internet services for a couple of months. And if you did not get a laptop, check with your school, because I know that there are some students who still need to pick up some technology. So please go pick up your technology if you are watching this video. Check with your school though, because all schools were not giving out the computers, but I do know that a lot of schools were offering for you to borrow them. So if they weren't giving you brand new laptops, they were creating a system where you could borrow. So check with your school. Learning spaces. So we just talked about that with the community-based learning, that there are schools who offer learning spaces. If you cannot create a good learning space in your home, check with your school and see if there's a learning space where you can come in and it's quiet and you don't have to worry about hearing your family or siblings in the background. However, if you're going to create a learning space at home, it is a great idea to get headphones or earbuds so that you can block out the noise and that you can block out the distractions. How do you begin your day? This is so important. So this is where all the energy comes in, okay, in preparing your day. You got to get enough rest. When your parents tell you to go to bed, please go to bed. Get off those cell phones, put that technology away, go to bed, and then you want to take a shower before you go to bed because you want to relax, right? Get cleaned up and relax before you go to bed. You want to practice good hygiene. I know we're talking about energy, but listen and hear me out. Practicing good hygiene, you think about bacteria and you think about just creating a clean environment, right? We got to take care of our bodies. You know, we were joking with a few family members a couple of days ago, and the joke was, okay, now just because you behind that screen does not mean that you can't practice good hygiene. So, okay, I guess it's a joke that you had to be there. But yeah, so practicing good hygiene, getting enough rest, eating a healthy breakfast. You have to be careful about eating these heavy meals in the daytime. Eat something healthy so that it can feed your brain some good messages, good vibes, so that it could go through your bloodstream and make you feel good about life in that day. Eat your Wheaties, I guess. Exercise and stretch sends messages through your body. It does. Through your bloodstreams, through your mental psyche, and gives you good mental clarity, okay? So this is important. All this stuff is important in order to have a great school year, because that's what we're looking for. We've been through a lot over the last couple of months, and I think it's very important that we take our time and prepare as much as we can to claim a great school year. And we're going to have a great school year, right? Practice positive thoughts and affirmations. That's very important. And I know I keep saying things are very important. All this stuff is important. Practicing positive thoughts and affirmations. Have you ever had someone say something very negative to you and it really took a lot out of you spiritually or physically, where it just made you feel very low and very bad? Well, if you think of positive thoughts and affirmations, it's going to do the exact opposite. It's going to give you self-motivation. It's going to help lift you up. This is what you are going to do for yourself. Now, if you have some friends and family and you feel like you are skilled enough to say some positive things to them, then offer them that as well. These are some great tips. You can share them with family and friends, and you can spread the love of positive engagement, positive vibes, and just a good boost for the year. Focus. Every time I hear that word focus, I think about how I'm always on my son and my daughter to focus. But children and teens and young adults, whoever is out there listening, let me tell you, focus is for everyone. It's not just for the young folk, because the older people need to learn how to focus too, okay? I will admit I am older, I need to learn how to focus as well, or I have to make time to focus because it's easy to get distracted. It's so many things going out in this world. And when you think of all the different social medias and the different activities and life events, and just coming out of quarantine somewhat and seeing different things happen around the world, it becomes interesting and it becomes distracting, right? Because I know a lot of you out there, the TikTok videos. I haven't done one yet with my daughter, but I think I'm going to do one with her. As long as we decide, as long as we stay focused. As long as we stay focused. So, wear comfortable clothing and appropriate clothing when you are doing your class sessions. Think about be mindful of what's in your background. Be mindful of words that you may wear that's on a t-shirt. I think that's why some schools are going to suggest that you wear a uniform just to keep down just to keep down the distractions, or just to kind of be in sync. Okay. Wearing uniforms, possibly, but again, comfortable clothing and appropriate clothing. Being mindful of your background noises and images. If you are not the one that is speaking, put your microphone on mute so that you do not disturb those who are speaking. And so taking notes. Taking notes is very important while you are trying to stay focused. If you are in a class and your teacher is explaining some things, maybe you're learning a new lesson. Sometimes when you're not like fully understanding what they're talking about, you start to lose your focus and you start to drift off. And I am speaking from experience. What helped me focus better is because I had to really get in a mind frame of taking notes. Taking notes helped me to remember some of the content in the classroom, but it also helped me understand what type of questions to ask. And I say this because everyone does not understand how to ask questions or what questions to ask. So, have you ever heard someone say, well, if you ask for help, people will help you, but you got to ask for help. Well, sometimes we don't know what to ask for, right? Sometimes we don't know how to ask for help because we really don't know what we need help with. And that becomes an issue with our learning. And so we begin to fall off and become distracted. So if we start day one, let's try to start day one. But guess what? If you don't start day one, do not give up. Okay. But I'm still going to say start day one. Listen carefully to your teacher, to your instructors, and take notes. And you go back to those notes and you review. And then when it's time to ask questions or where you get the opportunity, make you an appointment, ask those questions because you have to be successful this year. You're going to be successful. We are going to be positive. I'm excited. We're going to have a good year. This is new to many of us. So I don't want anyone stressing. We got enough to stress about. Right? Remember, with everything that's been going on with the different movements and the police brutality and COVID-19, we have been full of anxiety. We have been stressed. We have been full of depression. We have witnessed some traumatizing events. And so we have to, again, stay focused. We got to stay focused because now it's time for us to try to get a hold of our thoughts and move forward. So again, take notes, listen carefully, stay focused. I just had to say that one more time. That's an exhale. Try it again. So we're here and we are at wellness checks. It is very essential to our peace of mind to make sure that we are in a good space. So wellness checks, here are some great questions. These are questions you can ask your neighbors, ask your family, ask your friends, and we have to check on each other. Don't be afraid to check on each other. If there's someone and you haven't spoken to them in a while, call them up, ask them these questions. And don't be alarmed if someone decides to come to you and ask you the questions. But how are you feeling? Do you feel that you have someone you can talk to? Do you have someone you can talk to? How has COVID-19 affected you or your family? How has it impacted your life? Have you been wearing a mask? Have you been social distancing? Now, these last two questions about a coping mechanism. Do you have a coping mechanism? Do you know how to cope with stress when you are feeling stressed? You know, what helps you get your focus up? You know, because we don't want you to fold under pressure. Do you have an outlet? Do you have something you can do when you need to blow off some steam? I've heard a lot of people like when they go exercise. Some people, you know, they'll go exercise and they'll like burn some good calories, and it helps them blow off some steam, or it helps them to kind of relax and to get their bearings back on life. So just quickly, some ideas. Listening to music. Many of us like music. There is some music that will make you lose control. Listen to your music. Do your artwork. You can write. You can read a book. You can create some stuff. You can cook, do hair, do nails. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you like to sing and dance. Maybe you like to talk like me. Okay? So find you some good coping mechanisms to help you stay on the straight and narrow, to help you stay on your path, help you stay focused, because you are going to have an awesome school year. Getting involved. So I know that we are still in this safety era. We're still in this pandemic. You can still get involved. Your schools still have groups and clubs that you can participate in. You can become a teacher's helper or an aide. You can still do these things even though we are online. There are ways that you can help your parents with your siblings, help get them focused, or help prepare them. You know, try to figure out ways to help the others. Like, we have to be a village to each other, and we have to build our community, and we have to support one another. There are neighborhood organizations that you can check into. You can check into your church organization. So there are ways that you can get involved. And we have Google at our fingertips. There are plenty of online safety programs, and there's a lot of free programs. And guess who I'm getting ready to tell you all to check with? Yep. Yes. NCADD, because they offer a lot of family supportive, interactive activities, and they also offer activities for students and for the young ones. in helping to build the community. The community, you heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. That's important. So we have to take care of each other. So we have to do our wellness checks. We are going to prepare for a great school year. We are going to create some good daily routines. We are going to continue to be aware and pay attention of our current events so that we know what's going on in the world. And when we need help, we're going to communicate and we're going to ask for help. And we're going to do some positive affirmations. And we are just going to claim having a great year. So we are ready. So I am excited. Okay, so we are at the end. I'm going to high five to a great year. Best wishes to you all. Have a fantastic school year. I would like to thank NCADD for the opportunity to do this presentation. I am hoping that it was everything that you needed it to be and more. I look forward to doing this again, and in the meantime, be safe, be safe, be safe. And don't forget to tell your folks to vote, 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 vote. So again, thank you for the opportunity. God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.